Hello everyone, good day. This is Osama Waju, and today I'm going to be taking you through a tutorial video about designing for marketing. People think it's more simplified than it is, but there's a little science to it, if I could use that term. Alright, so basically, this training will provide a few answers. It will provide answers to why marketing is important and how, as a business owner, you can understand marketing and learn to think like a marketer. It will also provide answers to why some companies are able to charge higher prices and get customers, whereas some companies believe they can only get customers if they choose to charge low prices, and they might end up getting fewer customers. So basically, I hope to provide answers to you how you can brand your own product to ensure that irrespective of the price, people will always buy. That way, you always stay profitable, as well as how you can get the right content to use for your billboards or for any digital display marketing you are doing. Because everybody believes that once you put up an ad, the ad will start to flow. So, some conventional thinking about marketing is, as a marketer or as a business owner or as someone who is involved in marketing and knows the importance of marketing, the biggest challenge you will have is when you're speaking with people. People always believe that they know what marketing is about, or that they are not affected by marketers in any way, which are all false. People have no idea how much marketing plays a role in their day-to-day lives and the decisions they make on a daily basis. So this content is majorly going to be just focused on design, and it's going to be very quick. We will try and talk about communication as well, but that might be for a later video. All right, so basically, here's a normal problem that people usually have. They just believe that, oh, if I put up a billboard and I run ads online, people will buy. But you have to ask yourself this question, or this is a question that many of them don't ask themselves, and they just go and meet any graphic designer and they just put up any type of ad. You have to ask yourself, am I putting up the best type of advert? Because unlike other forms of digital marketing, when you're putting up a billboard, you cannot be changing that ad. That ad has to be there. The ad is going to be static. You cannot continue changing the material. So you need to ensure you're putting up the best material at all times. So basically, here's another problem that people come across. They believe that if they make it the cheapest, people will buy. And so they try to always ensure that their products are cheap. But irrespective of that, sometimes people see more value when the product is more expensive. So you don't want to leave any money on the table. You want to brand your product or service in such a way that irrespective of price, people will still buy. So this will also help. This tutorial will also explain how you can take that approach. Alright, so every ad you put up, the goal of every ad you put up basically is to build motivation, because you want to put up an ad that will motivate people to act on it. And basically, you need to remember and you need to understand that people are motivated to act basically on emotional attachments. So people buy on an emotional attachment, rarely over logic. So when you put up an ad and you want people to act on it, you have to think primarily at what type of emotion are you trying to trigger. Because if you do not trigger any form of emotion, there's a likelihood that your ad will just be skipped. That's going to be a big waste of money. So here are some of the core emotions that you can always use. Basically, they are subsets of just two core emotions, which is fear and love. But they're always going to try to trigger greed, sadness, anger, disgust, trust, happiness, and surprise. All depending on the nature of your product, you're going to try to trigger what best suits your product and what emotion best suits your brand. So here are examples of people that use sadness, and here are people that use fear, and people that use greed. As you can see, many of the World Health organizations that try to feed people or less privileged programs, they always try to instill some form of sadness. So you see that their creatives are always with some form of sad image, shown to you. That way you yourself will feel some form of sadness and act on that image. Basically, they want you to convert in forms of giving them donations. Another that we are very familiar with, we know about fear. So during different companies, whenever they're doing their Black Fridays event, they're trying to instill fear, and that way they will give you some form of anxiety by telling you that, oh, Black Friday is coming, it's only going to last for a day, try and get as many things as you want, as fast as you want. So people will be afraid, and they'll quickly try their best to convert and buy as much products as you want. Another emotion is also greed. In the emotion of greed, you can see designs that people will be showing you. Oh, you can win excess amount once you click on this product. You can, win so many type of things once you click on this ad. Another example is also the iPhones. The iPhones nowadays are actually branded in such a way whereby they instill greed. So when people see that, oh, I can win an iPhone, or anything that has to do with an iPhone in any of your image or anything, people will pay attention. Another form of greed as well is also food. People see a delicious plate or something that intrigues them, that can intrigue their appetite. They will look at that ad, and they're more likely to pay attention to your ad than to just skip it. Coca-Cola is an example that uses food in their adverts. They are also aware of this. So some other examples of other emotions is also happiness. As you can see, Coca-Cola is, once again, they also use happiness, and they do attachment marketing. They attach themselves with Santa Claus, and that way people that are familiar with Santa Claus will also have more trust for their brand. And they also use words that are attached to these emotions, like happiness. Another is also trust. As you can see, people are aware of how strong it feels when a peer recommends a product to you. So they are always trying to create peer programs whereby you can just easily you can easily contribute or ask your friend to join that program and to buy that product, basically. So that's why PayPal, long before the internet even started, PayPal was using referral programs and rewarding friends that refer their friends. Same thing with Amazon. So people who have large followings, influencers, take advantage of this, and the trust that the influencer has is now converted into money by sharing links or by joining the affiliate program. So people are more easily to convert when they know that, oh, this brand is trusted by their friend or is trusted by a well-known celebrity. So another example is love. But love is a bit tricky, because love is one of the strongest forms of emotions that you can use to convert. However, as a business, many business owners are very impatient, because building love takes years. It takes quite a lot of years to build love. But it's something that every brand should have as a long-term strategy. Love should be a long-term strategy that they want to have. Elon Musk, from the moment he started doing his Tesla's cars, you can see some of his interviews online. He has started giving out interviews about his why he's doing what he's doing, his mission, his vision. He has already started building that fan base for a long time. So as we are now in 2022, you are seeing the conversions that he's having over the fan base that he has built over 10 years ago. Same thing with the iPhone. The iPhone started gradually as an iPod, and gradually they started making themselves the brand that everybody wants to associate themselves with, a brand that has a type of personality to it. So recently, when Facebook, when their shares recently went down, they decided the best thing to do was to reach out to some interviews, to grant some interviews with Mark Zuckerberg. So if you look around that period when their shares went down, like a month later, you see that Mark Zuckerberg granted a lot of interviews with people and influencers talking about his vision and his mission, also trying to improve his PR, because your public image really matters as a business owner. So some other forms of emotions as well that we're familiar with is anger. So anger, controversy, sex, these are things somebody can say Donald Trump was able to convert the most during his campaign because he drove on anger and controversy. So people were always, paying attention to him. People were always giving him all their attention because they knew fully well he was going to say something controversial. The same thing with Nike. They've also taken advantage of controversy before to increase their brand awareness. Sex is very familiar. Brands can design some footages to catch people's attention online using sex. Alright, so here's a demonstration. So basically, if you decide you want to make a billboard or you want to do any display ads, some of the masters of creating ads that lead people to convert are YouTubers. There's so much you can learn from YouTubers on how they do their thumbnail, because YouTubers know the importance of the thumbnail. Having the right type of thumbnail will lead to more engagement for their video and less video being skipped. So you see a familiar trend in this image I just showed to you. You see that there's always a person, and there's always a person expressing some form of emotion. It's always one form of the emotion or another, whether they are expressing sadness, surprise, excitement. They're always expressing some form of emotion. And then you can also see some form of greed in their images, whether it is money, whether it's an iPhone, whether it is anything, whether it is food, whether it is sex. There's always some other form of emotion that they're also trying to trigger. So basically, your goal is to try and trigger as many emotions as possible within your image. The more emotions you can trigger without it looking crazy, the better it is for your graphics, and the more that graphic is likely going to convert and lead to more sales for you. So when you look at through this design, for instance, this is just a mock-up. It was never used professionally. It was just designed just for this tutorial. You can see we are showing different types of emotions. We're triggering different types of emotions. We're triggering trust, happiness, greed, fear. So this comrade, this Pip, some of you know it as Pip, some of you know it as Pepe, some of you know it as comrade. He's a well-known meme used on the internet. As you can see him, people will resonate with him because they are aware of his personality. So if you can't use Pepe, you can create your own brand ambassador for your own brand. That way you can build trust. If you do not want to be the person, if you don't want to be the face of the brand, you can also use a mascot. So in this image, you can also see there's a fear factor to it because get it before there's a deadline. There's also a greed factor to it. The prices are low, the internet is unlimited, and then there's also a happiness to it because Pepe is known to be a very funny type of person. Right. So among all the emotions I spoke to you about, which do you think leads to the best conversions? Just take a moment to think about it. While you're taking that moment to think about it, please like this video if the information has been useful to you, and please subscribe. Alright, so the best so far is trust. So you have to build that consistent communication with your audience. You have to post regularly, which is what you see a lot of brands doing. However, it's not just spamming your content. You have to post and build a type of relationship like you're trying to date a woman. So it's like a man and a woman, that want to have a long and happy marriage. They are more likely to see each other very often. They always try to be there for one another. They always communicate to one another. They also trust one another's values and utterances. So this is how you want to position your business as a business that has trusted values, and you communicate consistently with your audience, and you're always there trying to add value to your audience more than trying to take from your audience. So you don't want to just key into being, I'm the smartest iPhone, I'm the smartest brand, I'm the most beautiful, I'm the most richest person. That these qualities are there, but these are qualities that instill from a place of greed and likely are not going to let you convert for a long period of time. Nor might they build that brand loyalty that many of us are looking for our businesses. So as you can see, trust is also what enables businesses to be able to charge, irrespective of whatever price, irrespective of how expensive they might seem. Like, trust enables businesses to be free. They have like a free checkbook that people can charge any amount on, and to be totally fine and totally acceptable because their audience trusts them. So your goal is you want to make yourself the most familiar in the marketplace. You want to make yourself the loudest in the marketplace, and you want to make yourself the most affordable in the marketplace, basically. So what do you think what creates the next conversions? What creates the most conversions after trust? So exactly. So if you guessed love, you're absolutely correct. Trust and love are quite similar, but the approach to build love, you also have to be consistent with your video creation. Emphasize on your why. Let your audience always know why your business is doing what it's doing. Create relatable videos, whether you're creating skits or memes, or you really have to create content consistently with your audience. and explain your why. So there's a very large emphasis of explaining what your mission is, why you are doing what you are doing as a business, what your vision is. So yeah. So whenever businesses do these two things, they are able to increase their prices, they're able to have more sales, and of course they're able to have higher staff salaries. And with higher staff salaries, you can also motivate more people and get more people to continue the circle of producing more content consistently and being the best brand you can be. So thank you. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, please let me know. In the comment section, I would love you can rate this presentation on a scale of 1 to 10. Alright, thank you very much. Remember to like, subscribe, and it's been a pleasure. I hope to upload the next video for you guys soonest. Pray that I stay consistent. I'm serious, so all of you, if you like my videos, pray that I stay consistent. Alright, now thank you very much for your time.